Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years and keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. The year was 1979, and all the world was caught up in disco and Star Wars. But in Louisville, something was happening. A young entrepreneur named Ben had a vision to be the best record store in all of the city. Fast forward to 2023, and Better Days Records is still going strong. Still, after all these years, owned by the same guy. We have had some trips and falls along the way, but so does life, and Better Days is here to stay. With two awesome locations at 921 Barrett Avenue and at 2600 West Broadway, better days are surely in your future.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre. Oh, this is the metal forge. 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 Metal forge. My furnace starts to glow with crimson coals. My hammer beating out.
What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of The Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson, and I am your host. How the fuck are you all doing this week? Man, I really don't know where to fucking begin. This week has been crazy fucking weird for me. Last weekend was great. I went up to Kettering, Dayton area again, hung out with my friend Amy again, and that was rad as shit. We went back to Catacomb. I saw some pretty cool shit in there that I did not pull the trigger on, and you're just gonna have to, if you're in that area, you're gonna have to go. It is a fucking badass store, and there's so many cool fucking vintage posters and just so much cool shit there. And the toy store next door is still rad as fuck too. Toy comic card shop. Kind of a general nerdery thing. It's really fucking cool too. And I'm sorry I can't remember. Maverick, I think, is the name of it. Something like that. Check them out when you go there. And also, man, fucking Old Scratch Pizza. Shout out to them. They had really awesome pie there, and brick oven pizza, vegetarian, vegan options, so it was really rad as fuck. Awesome shit. Yeah. So that was fun. And then, at the beginning of the week, it was just kind of like a fucking train wreck. One of the days, you ever go into work, and it's so I've got a store right next door to the store I work in, okay? And we can just run over and grab something to drink, grab shit for lunch, whatever. It's a Dollar General, right? Because, they're every fucking where. So anyway, so I go early in the morning, get some shit for coffee, and then I realize that I don't fucking have any cups there, so that pissed me off. I was like, God damn it, man. It's I don't want to fucking walk right back across to the fucking store. And it's fuck. So then, but the stuff I did get, and this is my, little grievance moment here, is, so I got some fucking, some lunch meat and fucking cheese and a loaf of bread, and I don't usually do that because it's I don't live that far from where I work, so I can run home for lunch and shit. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start eating lunch at work for a little bit and see how, fucking just do the thing, right? Motherfucking if somebody didn't fucking get into every bit of it. And it's when I went back for lunch, there was less than half of the loaf of bread left. I'm like, motherfucker, what is this? But it's all good, Yeah, it's the in the moment thing where it kind of pisses you off, but it's you know what? Dude, kudos to you, if you were hungry and you wanted it, you deserve it, man. Fucking right. So there is always a silver lining to that shit, right? That silver lining to fucking jab the fucking werewolf and shit. Yeah. No, fucking the werewolves are the friends, man, right? It's the, I don't know. All the mythical creatures are friends. But no, fucking this week, we have, and I've already rambled for 4 minutes before I've even told you who the fucking guest was. It's James DeMaria from Toxik. super old school fucking band, came back in the mid 2000s and is completely fucking thrashing the fuck away still to this day, and that is so fucking rad. So we're going to talk to him about some, there was some incident where a dude had surgery on his hand and it's not healing like it should, so they've had to cancel a tour. And, so we just talk about the climate of that and, in the writing of Dismorta, their new album and everything, and what's coming up next and how they're going to do the thing, right? So fucking right. Yeah, man. And also this week, Jason Gardner is back from the Heavy Metal Wasteland, and this has been such a deep excursion. I am excited to hear what he has to say. So the cat is out of the bag now. Here is Jason from the Heavy Metal Wasteland.
What's up, everybody? It's been a few weeks, I think.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, you can say it's been more than a minute. It's been a little while, but I'm back, and I've actually kind of like doing these live Wastelands better than the pre-recorded ones. So I think this is the format from now on when I show up to do a Wasteland.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't have to edit it.
Well, that too. But I was always good about editing my stuff for you.
Yeah, you are pretty good about it.
Yeah. But we got two things for the Wasteland this week. First one is the Steel and Stone announcement. I could finally talk about it on the Flamekeeper airwaves. So it is Steel and Stone 7. I'm going to nickname it the Quickening because it's all fast bands.
Yeah.
So it's Twisted Tower Dire coming out of hiding for at least this show. Be the only show in North Carolina for the year. Possibly the U.S., but I know North Carolina for sure. So they're coming out, and then Children of the Reptile, who has been on the show before with Mark, is coming over from Wilmington. And then we have this one band, Overload, that just kind of jumped on. They're from somewhere in, out west.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Those guys, you got to watch them.
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're shifty people. They'll probably, be careful. Don't let them rent any Airbnbs around you because they will probably trash them.
And it'll steal your wives while they trash them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Those people are undesirable from what I've been told.
Well, anyway, besides them, and then we have three local bands, which is my band, Temptations Wings, as always, because it's our festival. All Hell from here in Nashville also, and Oblivion Throne. So All Hell is like a black and punk horror band. Oblivion Throne is like a old school throwback, like more speed metal than thrash metal. So if you're interested in coming down to Asheville to see this event, the venue holds about 100 people. So it's super limited, super up close, and backstage pass and meet and greet guaranteed because nobody can escape. So for patrons, it's $10. For everyone else, it'll be $12 on the pre-sale and 15-day show. And all pre-sales and patron purchases come with a super limited edition compilation CD of all the bands playing that night. So it'd be a 12-song CD, and it'll only be probably like, there'll be less than 100 printed. So it really all depends on how many pre-sale numbers we get, and then kind of a guesstimation after that.
And there's also going to be some other cool things there too, right? Aren't we going to do a limited edition poster print?
Oh, I don't know yet. I gotta see what the numbers are. I haven't even looked into it yet. Possibly though, but if you're interested in one, we can make it happen.
For sure. Because, dude, that's one of the things I've always loved is having poster prints of wherever I've played. Because that's going to be my new going into phase 3 of the Metal Forge here is flyer in the room.
Right. Yeah, I'll look into it soon after I get done with this segment. But the real reason I'm here today is we have a lot of shit coming out in the fall over the next 3 months. So I want to make sure everyone's aware The first one coming out is August 18th. Is the new Spirit of Drift album on Century Media. If you're interested in pre-ordering that. After that is the new Ex Mortis album on Nuclear Blast, which I'm looking forward to. In September, I believe, is the new 20 Watt Tombstone, who we've had Tom Jordan on the show before. Also, his pre-order, he has 35 lunch boxes for limited edition pre-sale. Comes with the CD inside. I'm not really sure if I'm going to get the lunchbox or the vinyl. I haven't decided yet, but I need to do it quick because those will probably sell out pretty fast.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. The lunchbox is pretty fucking cool, man. I'd say when bands like that size do cool shit like that, it makes me wish that we were just a little bit bigger so we could do stuff like that.
For sure.
But and then Restless Spirit, another band I really like from New York, has one coming out in September on Magnetic Eye. And then Howling Giant from Nashville has one on Magnetic Eye also coming out in October. So I've pre-ordered the Howling Giant Swirl. I'm getting ready to pre-order the 20 Watt Tombstone as soon as I figure out which one I want to buy. But there's so much stuff coming out that people should just know that, instead of buying those Taylor Swift tickets, why don't you just take all that money and buy all these fucking vinyls instead?
No shit.
A lot longer.
Yeah, and I mean, you can clearly get more out of this than that, which I still love the meme that I saw about her.
Which is?
That she writes music for people that give teethy head.
I saw something very disturbing today also, before I got on here. So apparently Carrie Underwood covered Ace of Spades.
I don't doubt that.
I will not listen to that because it's probably horrible. But yeah, it's just like it's just kind of like stay in your lane, people. There's no need to ruin a song when it's perfect the way it is. So,
right.
Yeah. Many other bands have done that. I think that band playing in Overrated? Is that their name?
Yeah, that's their name.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I know they do it. And then
that's them.
Another band we play with in Kentucky is also
that's totally them. That's totally them.
Dude, I'm just messing with you, man.
I know. Dude, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, my bank account is not, but nonetheless, I have 2 out of the 5 about ready. Well, I have 1 for sure. One's going to be tonight, and then the other 3, I have a little bit of time. But yeah, my bank account and my wife is not going to be very happy. That's why I have to work so much, is to buy these vinyls.
Right.
It's got to support my bad habits. I should do drugs. It's probably cheaper, to be honest. But you know what? I think Confucius say vinyl record lasts longer than crack rock. So I think
probably sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he said that verbatim.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to it. And, that could be a cool Alehorn exclusive episode one day where we just do a, discuss albums that are coming out and what we're just looking forward to.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, all these purchases will end up on unsleeved sooner or later, too. So yeah, I got some more unsleeved topics coming my way also, which is, another reason to buy them.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about all of them, man. I think they're all going to be really good. Give it a pretty good fall.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Do you have anything else before we go, dude?
No, I think that's it for this week. Like I said, I'm just trying to branch out a little bit and not talk about the same old things, Yeah, steelstonefest.com. Yes, and also you can go to Flamekeeper.vip and get the pre-sale tickets also.
Yeah.
Or you can go on the event page, or you can go to the auditorium's website whenever they amend the calendar one of these days, which should be soon. I did put a little birdie out that it needs to be done. So.
Definitely, and to the box office, I'm sure.
There is no box office.
Well, when you're at the venue, I'm sure you could say, "Hey, I want to ticket to this."
It's a dude at a table outside. So,
nice. It's a great.
That's why we don't really worry about pre-orders too much, because it's kind of like just walk up only. But the pre-orders are nice because people will come from a little bit of ways away due to the exclusivity of the Twisted Tower Dire
for sure.
So,
and it'll probably be Overload's only time in North Carolina too.
This year, at least, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, dude. we're going to go ahead and continue on with the Metal Forge here. Jason, thank you so much for coming back to the Metal Forge from the Heavy Metal Wasteland. It is so awesome to have you on the show, and I know you've been doing some interviews with me here recently and stuff, but you know, that's what it's all about, is the Flamekeeper. It's about us who keep the metal flame alive, the one that burns in the Metal Forge, and the one that fucking lights the fires on the fucking battlefield and where you're drinking from your fucking ale horn, right? Goddamn right. Goddamn right. And that goes out to you know. If you know, you know. Goddamn right. So, anyway, Flamekeeper now has a one-stop shop to the Patreon page. And I know you all get so sick and tired of hearing me say this, but if you go to flamekeeper.vip, you can sign up for $1, $2, or $5. It's not a lot of money, and I know in this fucking economy, it might be. So, but, you know, your support is greatly fucking appreciated. You know, and I say we, meaning Jason and I. This is the 7th year for Steel and Stone Fest that was just recently announced, and this is my first year of putting on a kind of a fest-like thing. You know, it's basically 2 shows in 2 nights, but, you know, I don't usually do that, and it's a lot of bands. It's the big goddamn metal show, right? So, big goddamn metal show. If you do go to the Patreon page, you do get discounts on merch, on ticketing, and stuff like that as well. So, please and thank you. Kick ass, flamekeeper.vip, metalforgeradio.com. Make sure you listen to the Ale Horn on the first Tuesday of each month, the Mud Horn with Jason Gardner and myself on the 3rd Tuesday of each month, and then Jason's Unsleeved is the 2nd Saturday of the month, and the Metal Forge Unsleeved is the 4th Saturday of the month. And if you do sign up on Patreon, I know mine come out at least a week early. So you will get a full 7 days before everybody else, which is rad as shit. And I know on mine, the upcoming one here, and I've got them on the desk still because I'm filming it, is cassette tapes. Yeah. You know, I have like 10 like prized possession cassette tapes in my collection that I still have. And there is actually one more honorable mention that made the list. So that's cool shit, and I love it. And I don't collect a lot of tapes, but you have to tune in to the Metal Forge YouTube page for that on the 4th Saturday of the month. How about we go ahead and get this shit fucking rolling here with Toxik? And on this, I am going to play something way old from the band, and just because it has my band name in it, I still think it makes fucking sense today. Here it is from the album World Circus. This is Social Overload.
Power
Metalheads, I am being joined this week on the line by James from Toxik. Dude, what the fuck is going on?
What is up, Mark, man? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Fucking represent New York, man. Fucking, I haven't had a New York band on for a while.
Always followed New York, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Cro-Mags, Nuclear Assault, Anthrax, all that New York hardcore stuff. You know,
and you're going way back in the day with it, and I'm like thinking like Fatal Curse and I was about to say Persecutor, Shadowland, you know, from up there, and like newer bands. I'm like, yeah, man, I haven't had a band like that. And you're like going like, oh, fucking Anthrax, Cro-Mags, like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm old, man. That was because those bands were new when I was coming up, you know.
Right, for sure. I totally get that. So, dude, how is New York?
New York is great, man. There's a great scene here. I mean, you can play New York, New Jersey, you can go to Connecticut, you can go to Boston. It's all within driving distance, Baltimore, stuff like that, you know?
For sure. And it seems like that's like the indie circuit up there. You do have the crossover. It's like everybody hits like Philly, Richmond, some little shit in like New Jersey somewhere, whether it's like Passaic or fucking, you know, something like that. And then they do the New York thing, and then like up to like Maryland and stuff like that, it seems like.
Yeah. We were about to do something with actually we had it scheduled with Tyrant, who I believe is from Michigan.
Yeah,
we
Friends of the Forge.
Michigan and do 8 dates, man. And unfortunately this year, things are just hindered a bit by Josh's recovery, man. He had some surgery in January, and it's just not recovering as quickly as he'd hoped.
For sure, and that's one of the things that it's really messed up when you have that deal, when you have to have surgeries as you get older, and do you bounce back to tour as much as you could? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, for him, I've been with him for 8 years, man, so I understand how much this guy plays guitar, so I would just want him to have the ability to play the guitar.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Regardless of Toxik, whatever, that's gonna bounce back. It just has to take time for him to heal. But I want him to be able to play the guitar. So if playing the guitar right now doesn't allow that, then we just got to sit back and wait and wait for him to recover. That's it.
Definitely. So for everybody who knows your history, with Heathen, Generation Kill, Demolition Hammer, how did you all get together and do and just say, hey, let's redo this?
What do you mean, about like Toxik in general?
Yeah.
Well, Toxik was already kind of going when it was already revived in about 2013 or 2014.
Right.
With it actually had it was Josh. I believe it was the bass player Brian Bonini was still in it, Mike Sanders, and then it was Jason Bittner actually on drums and Ralph Santola.
So it was already picked back up, and then as things have come in, you've came in to play drums. Since
Bittner left to go join Flotsam and Jetsam, and they needed somebody to go to South America in the summer, at the end of the summer of 15. So, I got a message through a mutual friend, and I ended up talking to Mike Sanders, who turned me on to Josh, and next thing you know, I said, okay. I had to learn like 18 songs in a month, man. It was a lot.
Damn.
And, it's not like we could sit around and play drums all day, man. We all work. We have jobs and stuff. So, every week I would take a chunk off. I'll learn 4 this week. I'll learn 5 this week. I'll learn 5 the following week. And then we just kept on progressing, and then we took, I took the month of July of 15 to learn all the shit, and then August we practiced, and then at the end of the month we went to South America for 10 shows. It was nuts.
And dude, that's wild as shit, and it's like, to be able to to have your instrument ingrained to do what you said, you know, like those cram sessions where it's like, all right, I'm going to plot this out. I'm going to learn these 4. I'm going to learn these 5. And you know, and you do that. I mean, so obviously, you know, that has worked for you. And I totally get that, because it's like, I think everybody does their homework and takes it home and finds out, okay, this is how I do this.
And also, you know, now playing with them for years, I've kind of like made some of the songs my own, whereas I was trying to nail everything that they hit on the record to stay authentic. And, you know, that I use as a blueprint now, and, you know, I make it my own. And, you know, Josh and I have really great communications along with Shane as well, the bass player. So, you know, at the beginning, I was just up there playing a gig, and now, you know, then you settle down after a bunch of shows and a bunch of years, and you kind of find your place, I guess. You know, I'm not trying to be Tad. I'm not trying to copy Tad, and all his shit is nuts. You know, Bittner, the stuff that Bittner did with Toxik is mind blowing. You know, but I can only be me. So, you know, Josh has an inherent ability to write his style for the players that are around him. So it's kind of a unique situation, you know. He knows how I want to play and what I would like to play and my tendencies, so he'll write around that, and, you know, it still remains Toxik, which is really cool.
See, and that's amazing, because I think when you come into a band like that, it's something really special. It feels right. You know, I guess that's the best way I could put it. It's like when it really comes down to, you know, that chemistry where it really connects and hits, that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and switch to this. Dismorta, you know, continuing, because that was the latest album that you all released. And
yeah, man, worked really hard on that record, man. Josh worked really hard on that record. Ronnie worked really hard. We all did our homework and put in the time practicing, and, you know, it's an interesting record. Josh recorded the majority of the guitars, and there's a lot of layering with Toxik, man. So there's a lot of little nuances that need to be there, you know. It's a little different than like downpicking Bay Area thrash, you know, which is awesome, you know, but Toxik's kind of like its own thing. It's a little frenetic. And we did the drums at my house, man. Me and Josh basically set up. I had a friend of mine, an engineer friend of mine, come and set the mics up, and off we went for 2 weeks. It was fucking crushing, man. It was a, you know, come on, let's go, you know. And then we got our friend Martin Furia, who is right now currently one of the guitar players in Destruction, one of the best guys in the world. You know, we got him involved because Josh really has a love and trust for Martin, and together they delivered that record. So
hell yeah. And that's one of the things I was going to ask, because you said you did the drums at your house. So yeah. Obviously this was done as professional as possible, yet while still, I mean, I'm assuming everybody has their own recording station in their home that they could.
Well, you know, like, we're signed to Massacre, right? So it's not really a big deal. So, you know, say we had like a $10,000 budget, right? You know, out of that budget, we bought some recording equipment and the mics and shit. And you can do all the guitars. Josh has whatever Cubase he's using or whatever it is.
Right.
And he basically engineers and tracks all the guitars at his house. The guitars are basically done, you know,
going into it.
The songs are delivered, man. They're layered. There's multiple guitar tracks, man. It's really, you know, pretty awesome when you know, I hear the shit from when it's an idea, and then to hear all that stuff, you know, even at Dismorta, the final mixes, man, you know, the guitar work, I didn't hear all that until he like layered it on, man, and it's just awesome.
Definitely. So in the scheme of things, of working from beginning to, you know, to end on Dismorta, how long was the recording process?
Oh man, that had to be the better part of 2 years, dude. We had you know, Ronnie basically did the vocals for the demos for Dismorta, basically side one of Dismorta, in like August of 20, you know, and, you know, just COVID and all this other shit, you know, COVID really put a damper on everybody's stuff. You know, we had to do everything remote, and, really couldn't do that with the recording, so it kind of put a little slag on it. In the meantime, you know, Josh came up with Judas, and he came up with Devil in Your Mirror, and we kind of finalized on Straight Razor, which is an older Toxik song from the first demo, you know.
Right.
So, you know, about 2 years from start to finish, man. You know, it was a big feat, man. I felt proud of it for myself, but I felt happy for Josh. It was a 33-year journey, man, and it was a proud moment in August.
Hell yeah. See, and that's rad as shit, because that's what, I think that's what it should be, like putting an album out. It should be a rad experience, and, you know, being happy for one another and stuff, and being able to unleash this, you know, masterpiece to the world.
Yeah. I think Ron Iglesias, man, I mean, the motherfucker arrived on that album, and, you know, live he can do the Mike stuff, he can do the Charlie stuff, and he's just a ball of energy. And on that record, man, like Ronnie did Creating the Abyss, that probably has like 11 vocal tracks. I think he did the whole thing in 90 minutes. He's just like he's ridiculous, Ronnie, and he's like the nicest, quietest, most humble guy you could meet, you know. And on the record, man, he just crushes, you know.
Hell yeah. I don't know what to say about like vocalists like that, because I'm like a one, like, not a one take, but I'm like, all right, this line, and then this line, and you know, it's like, let's do first and thirds and second and fourths, and just going that way. And for somebody to just go in and fucking be like, plow, right fucking through it, it's always amazing.
He's ridiculous, dude, and he's like, oh, is that good? You're like, yeah, all right, yeah. All right, now do that again. You know, do that again. Boom, and he'll do it just like that. We're like, oh my God, man, just okay, moving on, you know.
Damn, dude.
And him and Josh write well together. Again, like that's the credit for Josh is, you know, the ability to write with people. But him and Ronnie write well together. Ronnie's a ridiculous guitarist in his own right. You know, we had thrown the idea out there of trying to get out there and play and have Ronnie do some of the soloing and stuff, but it would have just been, you know, for us, it wouldn't have been the best show that we could give to the fans, you know. Right. When fans come to see Toxik, they want to come really see Josh solo. They want to hear those songs, and, you know, now they can get a load of Ronnie, you know.
For sure. So you mentioned Ronnie also plays guitar.
Yeah.
Do you play any other instruments other than drums?
No, I mess around on like the bass a little bit and guitar, but I'm not really prolific on anything else. I have a hard enough time trying to keep up on drums, you know.
Definitely. So you could hammer away through something if you needed to, but playing like rhythm guitar for a band live would probably not be a thing.
No, if I could do that, man, I'd be doing it right now. I'd be like, oh man, I don't have anything going on with Toxik. Let's go play guitar for this band.
Okay. Point taken.
In a minute. You know?
So I guess what my question of this is, do you believe that singers, if they play guitar, ultimately are a better singer?
Well, I don't know. I think that, you know, you could have a singer and a guitar player, right? I think the singer's ear, if a singer can play an instrument and they understand notes and they can hear them in their head, then they could sing, right? And you could sing well. You don't have to have a great voice, but you can always sing in tune.
Right.
But Ronnie used to sing and play guitar in his other band. He was the lead singer and guitar player. He played leads as well, Xenophile, and it was great. But, you know, to grow into just being the singer and the front man is a different animal than having a guitar around your neck and singing. There's just a little bit of a security blanket when, you know, Ronnie with a guitar is great. It's great to watch him play. It's great to hear him play. Ronnie unleashed without a guitar, it's a different animal.
I 100% agree with that statement. Yeah. And I think the interesting thing about that is, yeah, Ronnie with the guitar is a completely different animal than Ronnie as the front man. I totally get that, because I think it works opposite for certain musicians. For example, I will use Lemmy. Lemmy with the bass is in your fucking face, real goddamn deal. You don't fuck with this dude. but Lemmy singing
that's always been his shit from the get-go. When he left his first band,
right?
There was a lot of hype there, and that was it. He was just going to step up. He played bass, and it was obnoxious. And some guys are larger than life figures.
Exactly, but the to the inverse of that, what I was going to say is when Lemmy is just doing like a vocal track for something where he's not playing anything.
Yeah,
he's that total fucking like just stand there and hold the mic guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting how that affects other people.
Yeah, it's look at Iron Maiden when Bruce Dickinson has to play like the rhythm guitar part in Revelations, right? He's great, he sings great, but it's just like it's not the same. Then when you take the guitar away from the guy and he goes and does what he does, different animal. Same thing with like Neil from Clutch. He comes out and plays guitar every now and again, man, but when he's unleashed, he's crushing.
Right. And Rob Halford even.
Halford I've never seen play guitar.
Yeah, but Halford is a guitar player, and there's early stuff of him with Priest where he's played guitar.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and it's just wild to think, but yeah, he's actually a very accomplished musician in his own right. So hell yeah, and that's like another thing. So through the years of you've still got other bands and stuff that you're playing with. How real does it get when you got to sit down and say, okay, oh wait, it's this one?
Well, I try to stay as current on as much stuff as I can because that's like half of playing. So like sometimes I like to just do my homework. If I'm doing like for this gig that I was supposed to do with Toxik and Gunfire and Sodomy, Gunfire and Sodomy is a way different animal, so I use it as more of a warm-up, and then I would play the Toxik set, which is about 75 minutes of, insanity, but that would be my daily practice or, 5 times a week practice just to keep that going for the gig.
Right.
Toxik stuff, I just have to kind of just stay current on it. I know it. I just, if I know we're going out, I just have to get myself up to speed. You know what I mean?
For sure. And
did you know Dysmorta? Like, it's really like slang that we came up with, but it's really it translates. I tell Josh when he was writing all this shit and sending it to me, I said Dysmorta is Latin for death by double bass. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Guy almost killed me, man. With Judas, he almost killed me, man. That was a tough one.
So I do have to ask, and because it's to this deal where everybody, there's a hard division line on this thing, and it's either you are in favor of it or it's like, nah, man, fuck that, I'll never do that. Do you play to a metronome live, or do you use a click, or are there any tracks or anything,
Live, no, man. Toxik is kind of off the cuff, kind of. It's kind of like a almost like a punk rock band disguised as a like a tech metal band disguised as a punk rock band.
Okay.
It's a lot of high energy stuff. I mean, you could see some of the stuff from Europe, man. It's high energy. It's really there's no metronome, man. It's I could send you. So
there's breathing.
Heart attack, dude. It's straight up fire,
But what
even as well, there was nothing. Nothing was ever to a click. Listen, if some band wanted me to play to a click because everybody was in their ears and there was pyro going off with it, of course you do what the gig asks you.
Definitely, and I think that's in more independent music, I think that's a real hard division. It's almost like, I think you do what works best for you and what the gig is, If the gig,
but if you have to play with a metronome, man, if you already have command of the material, then playing to a metronome shouldn't really bother you because you have command of the material. So
yeah,
if it's a little slower than what you're playing, then it's even easier because you already know what's going to happen, and now you can make sure everything is super clean, super precise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think and playing in ears really does make a difference.
Yeah, I just got them for this year, man. I haven't been able to put them to use yet.
Oh wow! So you've oh okay. So my band did ours 2 years ago. It's been just over a year. March of 22 is when we made the switch, and holy fuck!
Yeah, man.
It's like
we rehearse in headphones. You know, we have like headphones.
Oh yeah.
You know, I have like the Vic Firth noise canceling, and we rehearse with that. We put a room mic in the middle. Now the drums are a little mic, the amps are a little mic, and then Ronnie just sings through a mixer, and that's how we do rehearsal. No amps, nothing really loud.
Right. And live, you know, it's a whole other animal, because if you don't have a crowd mic, like a room mic or something, you know, you don't hear any of that.
Yeah, but you could see if that crowd's into you or not, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
As a matter of fact, man, it's just the first 5 rows, man. If the first 5 rows are into it, then pretty much everybody's going to be into it.
Yep.
If you see a little rumbling in the pit, you're doing okay. You know?
Exactly. And yeah, they're fun. I like it, and then it's just like, wow, holy shit. But yeah.
Man. Yeah. Nothing better than playing to people that you don't know, you know?
Oh yeah.
If you play in your hometown, it's awesome. Your friends will all come and they'll all clap for you. But if you play away from your hometown, now you're going to find out if you can go over or not, or if you're any good, or, you know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Playing live to me is like is it. I don't really care about making records so much, you know. I have to tell you, the Toxik record was a really proud moment. Right up there with the Generation Kill record. That was a magical record. 5 lifelong friends making that record, and having Zeus produce it was even better. Yeah, I mean, those 2 records over the last 10 years are just, you know, bookends for me.
So with the tour being canceled that was going to happen over July, now that, you know, by the time this airs will probably be early August, what do you all have planned with picking up and like rescheduling?
Well, we really have to wait for Josh's hand to heal. So until we know that he could play and he's going to be strong enough, you know, we're kind of reluctant to even book anything, because, you know, we've canceled 2 things already and people are understanding. But at the end of the day, it's unfair to the band. It's unfair to the promoters involved, our booking agent, to the fans, you know, to always say, yes, we're coming, no, we're not. Yes, we're coming, no, you know. Right. So Josh will heal. When Josh heals, we'll get out there. You know, in the meantime, there's 6 or 7 songs written for the next album. You know, I'm sure maybe that'll be part of Josh's healing process. We'll record. He'll be able to play guitar in spurts. You know, he's just got to kind of figure it out, because he doesn't want to go out there and, you know, he's a gunslinger like Skolnick and all those guys. He's in that class.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to go out there and not be at his best. And, you know, any musician who plays at the, you know, at certain levels, you know, would say that, you know, at any level would say that.
Absolutely. And hopefully to a safe recovery, not, I say a safe recovery rather than a speedy recovery, because I think speedy recoveries is when people overdo it and then they end up hurt long.
We're talking about the guy's hands. So.
Yeah, and then they're hurt longer, and then it's like, fuck. So yeah, a full recovery, safe recovery.
Listen, I love Toxik, but you know, if Josh goes out and does one Toxik tour and then he can't play guitar for the rest of his life, you know, it's not really a good plan. You know?
Exactly.
And that's the way that it is. You know, it's hard to tour in this environment. You know, you have the haves and the have-nots, and you have nostalgic bands that are kind of in between. You have the name, but you don't really have, you know, a lot of clout on the scene yet. You know what I mean? So, but it's good. You make friends, man, and you try to do little tours together. I see Flotsam is going out with Generation Kill, which is awesome, for a little East Coast run. Yeah. You know, so yeah, that's a great tour.
Absolutely, and it is awesome to see that. And now I think that's one of the coolest things that I think happened over the whole COVID shit was the fact that I think most musicians realized that they could be in more than one band because they were writing and recording with people over the internet. And now that we're able to tour and do shit, they're like, hey, are you good for like this? Because we want to go tour. And now there's a market for it. You know, from the stuff that was put out a couple of years ago, now there's the market for it. So it's really fucking cool. And then you get some of these bands that you didn't think, because it was during COVID, that you didn't think that you would actually ever get to see live.
Right.
Because they were originally just a recording project.
Right.
And that's rad as fuck.
Yeah, a lot of new bands came out of COVID. A lot of good ideas came out of COVID, man, because now you can always do collaborations with anybody and have it, you know, a Slay at home thing.
Oh, for sure.
Go on with anybody at any time. That's something that will never go away. That was a great marketing tool, a great cross-marketing tool.
Well, that
great way
too.
to play with other players, elevate your name, elevate your band's name, elevate each band's name, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the whole thing that I think, you know, we are all, anybody who is on an independent label, we're all still independent musicians, no matter what level we're at. Whether, you know, you're on like a Massacre or Century Media or any of that, you know, as long as it's not like a Sony or something, you know, that we're still all just working the game, and we all still have day jobs and what the fuck ever else.
Yeah, man, the labels basically just help you put out product. They give you an initial push, but you know, you both mostly, you know, have to do your own marketing. I mean, think about it now, man. At least there's the internet and social media. From your couch, man, you can reach thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, but back in the day, you were hitting the fucking pavement.
Dude, you needed a friend who had a copy machine.
Yeah.
So you could print your fucking flyers, and then, you know, think about how much harder it was. You had to get a mailing list. You had to fucking mail shit to people, get stamps, print out labels, you know.
Contact zines. Contact your fucking cousins that lived in fucking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, duping all your tapes, but, you know, making your demo and then making a copy of it, and then making a copy of it, giving it to everybody, man.
And, you know, and like I just said, you know, there is that one cousin that everybody had that lived in another city that they tolerated, so you could fucking say, hey, I'm going to go stay with cousin Jimmy. And fucking, it's like, oh, that's so cool. And then you're like Jimmy's bad influence.
No, we brought the influence to him. We wanted to play in another city.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Church Recordings presents Haunt and Hellfire, No Sleep Till Death. Starting Thursday, August 24th, 2023 at Reverb Lounge in Omaha, with select dates in Chicago, Detroit, Newport, Indianapolis, Brooklyn, Wallingford, Philadelphia, Washington, Atlanta, Pensacola, Lafayette, and more. Check listings on Facebook and the Haunt the Nation fan club. No sleep till death.
But when I feel the urge to fight,
In a time of madness and deceit, its coming was foretold. And now, Soul Grinder has returned to become filled and crusted. From the bands who brought you the prophecy of blight comes a terrifying new chapter that will leave you changed forever. This summer, don the armor of atrophy. Let plasma crush away and become filth encrusted.
Born forever in a foul river, baptized in mutation, stranger than you've ever been.
let's go ahead and switch over to the derailed segment. I'm going to make some fucking goofy sound effect for this show that none of the guests will get to hear until they listen to it. So here it is. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. This is 5 random questions based over anything. Today's first question is, how often do you order takeout?
Oh no, like twice a month.
Interesting. So you're doing the home, cook at home and forage from home kind of thing.
Yeah, man, because this way I know what I'm eating and I can control it.
Awesome. So do you like grow your own vegetables and stuff like that too?
No, go to a farmer's market though.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That's rad as fuck, you know? Because I mean, being a musician, you know, being out on the road, you know, there is always the thing of like, you know, eating a lot of fucking trash.
It's garbage on tour. It's garbage, man. So where you can get a good meal, you eat a good meal.
Yeah.
Because most of the shit you're getting is garbage. In Europe, you're getting, you know, potato chips and you know, varied chips, and you're getting fucking cold cuts, pasta, and chocolate. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be an upcoming episode.
Load up, you know.
I might need to tap you for that in the future. That might be an upcoming episode where we're going to talk about, you know, American food on tour and European food on tour.
Listen, at the end of the day, every country in Europe, the American embassy is there. The Golden Arches.
Right.
Worst comes to worst, you go to McDonald's. But for the most part, the cool part about being out there is really, you know, okay, I'm in this country. What kind of food do they have? Let me try it. You know, so, and people are proud to show you their stuff if you go to these little family-owned restaurants. You know, they invite you in. You know, we went to a place in Germany with Heathen last summer, and the owners were Croatian, and I ended up talking to the guy about his little dog, and next thing you know, he's giving us Croatian fucking moonshine, essentially. And then his wife comes over, then he brings out the special Croatian beer, and we're hanging out there for another hour. The whole place was like a horse stable. It was the coolest thing ever. So, you know.
Definitely. All right. I always like to frequent this deck so the normal listeners will get it. If you could be a wrestler, what would your catchphrase be?
Oh, God. If I could be a wrestler.
Yeah, what would you, if you could be a wrestler, what would you say that would be your...
It's hard to come up with an original catchphrase, right?
Yeah.
You know, did Andre the Giant have a catchphrase?
No, he didn't. He had the height, though. He had his gimmick. But, like, what you gonna do, brother?
I'm gonna say this, like Andre the Giant, I'm not going to have a catchphrase because I identify as Andre the Giant.
Aha! There you go. There you go. That would be an interest. Touche, good man. You have cheated the system and won.
Motherfucker.
That would ultimately be mine. Would be fucking like Joe Pesci in any fucking like mob film. You motherfucker, you.
Yeah. Maybe have to be that little kid from Instagram. What's up, motherfucker?
Right.
No, he says, well, hello, motherfucker.
There it is. There it is right there, yes. If you had to live in another century, which one would it be and why?
Wow, okay. Yeah, knowing about history too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, man. When did they start having penicillin? Oh, my God. I don't know, man. Maybe I'd like to live either in like ancient China, BC times, you know, or like Viking times around late 800s to 900s.
Okay.
That's you always look at it from hindsight, you know what I mean? So you're like, oh, let me pick this. That's a cool time, you know.
Right. So not quite the invasion England then. So a few
maybe
centuries
when they were first
before
starting
that.
to get over there, late 800s.
Yeah.
Around that time, maybe a little bit later, maybe 30, 40 years later, when people are starting to get around Strait of Gibraltar into there, like around that time. Like
that would be awesome, I think we do look at it, I mean, based as like it's almost like a movie that plays in your head kind of thing. Everybody has their own image of the way they see things, and like, that would be a really interesting time to just see,
There wasn't a lot of leisure time back there, man. You had to build your own house. You had to fucking supply your own house. You had to heat your own house. You had to hunt your own food. You had to grow your own food. You had to harvest your own food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no television, thankfully.
Yes, absolutely. And none of this. And I think the thing that gets me, though, with it is and you do that, and then as you meet as people, and then you start living around each other, and then you're just like, okay, we're all gonna pick up and move, however many miles this way as a people.
Yeah, some of those people, they had to follow the herd. Fuck.
Yeah.
They're wanderers the whole time, every day. They're on tour the whole time. Their whole life is on tour,
Yeah.
They're not following the dead. They're following the herd.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think ultimately, if I were still my person or the way I am now, if I was that way then, I would probably be that fucking person going from town to town to town to fucking just adventuring the fuck out of life.
Yeah, the storyteller, right?
Yeah.
A storyteller.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a very good way of putting it. I would be the bard in the D&D game.
Exactly.
What would be the first thing that you would do if you found out that you were completely impervious to physical harm?
Would be the first thing I would do. I probably wouldn't tell anybody. Oh no, man. You could either be. It's the Spider-Man question. You know what I mean? Either you take it responsibly, use it to help others, because you can't really help yourself unless you're going to be greedy.
Right.
You could do anything you want. Nobody could shoot you. Nobody can blow you up. Nobody could do anything. It's like being Superman,
Yeah.
Maybe you can't beat everybody up, but they can't do anything to you. They could punch you in the face. They can hit you with a pipe over the head. Nothing can happen.
Right.
Trying to work this all out in my mind. That would be the first thing I could do. I don't know. That's a tough thing to say. I'd have to make that. I guess the first thing I would do is make a decision, either be a sideshow or serious person.
That would be that's a very interesting thing now, because when you seriously think about the human body, it is extremely fragile.
Yeah, man.
When you really think about it. So, like, take, for example, when you have a car wreck at 30 miles an hour and what it does to your cars. Now, if you were to take the cars completely away and just imagine the two bodies hitting at the force of 30 miles an hour, they would liquefy.
You're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. You would liquefy. So
if you hit a tree at 30 miles an hour skiing, you're dead. Sonny Bono. You know what I mean? You're dead.
Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck? So do you just not feel the pain, and you're fucking just like being completely fucking just like mauled to death? And
I'm going to say that you're not going to feel the pain, because the impact is going to be instant, and you're going to be out in a fucking instant. Like, if somebody else is traveling 30 miles an hour towards you at the same time and you both collide, what's the force multiplier on that? When they're going head to head at 30.
Oh, it's like
does it equal 60 miles an hour?
Yeah. It'd be like hitting a still object at 60. Yeah.
You're both gonna splatter into bits. Maybe some of your limbs will come off.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
Shattered.
Yeah. So imagine that, but if you're impervious to physical harm, then like it's still. The human body's fragile as it is. So would you just not feel the fucking the hit because you're impervious to the harm?
I'm thinking like it's like Wolverine. You know what I mean?
You have regenerative property.
If you're impervious to harm, then you're more like Luke Cage, right? So your skin's bulletproof, nothing can penetrate your skin. Well, certain things could, but for the most part, I don't know. Again, the first thing you have to do is make the choice whether you're going to be a clown or a serious person.
I would probably be
today's society. Think about it, man. Everybody's Instagram, YouTube, Me Too, everything is just, everybody wants look at me, all that stuff,
Sure, absolutely. You'd have to choose. You'd have to choose wisely on there. Is there a haunted location that you would never visit?
I wouldn't say haunted, like emotionally haunted. There's places I wouldn't go to because they just bring up bad memories. I mean, I guess that's as far as I would go as haunted. You can go to places and it would feel fucking creepy. I couldn't name that, but, there's definitely places I don't want to go now or go near because it's just, I don't need to be reminded of the things that were there,
I agree. Yes. Send me to any haunted sanitarium, fucking haunted hotel. I don't give a fuck. But Golden fucking Corral, I will not go to because of memories.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, man. Just recently I've been driving down the street, man. It was like where my guitar player years ago was. Two of my guitar players were in a car accident together and the driver died, so I've been passing that basically the tree where he hit the past couple of weeks. I'm like, but on the positive side, it reminds me of my friend, and that's good enough for me. So maybe think of him, listen to some Rip House songs, and have a toast.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed below, so please give a like, a share, and a follow. Please go buy merch, go when the time comes. And then time will come that these guys will go on tour. Go see them, because it's going to be fucking epic, and we all know it's going to be. Do you have any shout-outs you would like to give to anybody today, sir?
For me, I would really want to shout out my friend Pete O'Brien. He's been working on a film that we had done 15 years ago already, in 2007, about Rip House, my first band. We did the movie back then, Could Have Beens and Wannabes, Rip House 151, Could Have Beens and Wannabes. It's basically like a, behind the music without the money. But it's a lot of the same stuff. There's
I need
tragedy,
to see this.
And for me, it at least the first rendition of it was not a feel-good movie. And I just wrapped up some interviews with Pete the other day, and that'll be released over the next couple of months.
Wow, I totally need to fucking see that.
I'll send you a link to the trailer, for my friend.
Please do. That is fucking rad.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely give shout outs to him. All right. Final question of the day. Because of being a touring band and being out on the road, where is the best place to drop a deuce on the road?
Oh, man, there's some doozies. Europe is different, though, man. Pretty much the public bathrooms in Europe are pretty good. They're never really dank or nasty. The toilet seats they wash themselves,
Fucking cush life, man.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say cush life. You go to Italy and you're shitting in basically a golf hole. Same thing with Portugal. They had a shower combined where you took a shit in the drain and then the shower was there. So that was interesting. Whatever, man. You got to do what you got to do. Just have good aim. It's like pretend you're playing Operation. You're trying to drop one. You'd be like, inside.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Wow.
If you're on a bus, you could be any of these guys on buses. They can't shit on the bus. The bus will have to stop at a truck stop, and they use the public bathroom.
Yeah. And some truck stops do have good bathrooms.
Yeah, most truck stops are pretty good, man. People underestimate how good actually a truck stop shower is.
A good line of truck stop, not like fucking Bert's fucking like 12 diesel pumps in fucking Oklahoma.
I only know a couple, man. I only know like the Pilot or like the Flying J.
Yeah, exactly. The chain ones are usually pretty good.
Yeah, man. I learned about it, the truck stop shower when I was teching for Exodus, and I was like, wow, man, I just been cultured.
That's great.
Yeah. So
awesome,
whatever, man.
dude.
This is a lot of fun. You know, I've had the opportunity to hang around and get some pretty fucking cool gigs, man. Demo Hammer was a one-off thing because Angel's wife was having a baby, and Toxik was playing that festival, so they asked me to play. Again, I took July to learn like 8 songs and then rehearsed with them 5 or 6 times, and then we played. It was great. Those guys are great, man. The next year I had in May of 2018, I had a cardiac arrest, and thankfully I'm fucking living. And those guys at Hellfest the following month, man, dedicated that to me. So it was really moving. Those guys are a special group of guys, the Demo Hammer guys.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, James, thank you so much for coming on the show this week. This has been fucking rad as shit.
Thank you, man.
On our way out today from Dismorta, what do you want me to play?
I'm going to say Creating the Abyss, my favorite track.
Awesome.
Cool interplay in the middle with Josh. He does this Japanese thing, and then there's some ear candy, polyphonic thing behind it. Josh is just mind-blowing.
Fuck yeah, man. Awesome. Here it comes. This is Creating the Abyss.
Rising yellow
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code MetalForge10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby. Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana is the premier 12,500 square foot music superstore that has served both southern Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky metro area for over 4 decades. Originally founded by Marvin and Beverly Maxwell in the 70s, this gym remains a Maxwell family-owned business. Mark Maxwell, along with his business partner Whitney McNichol, continued the reputation as being the national resource for all things music.
In 2022, the iconic Guitar Emporium of Louisville relocated to Maxwell's Music, creating the largest independently owned showroom in the region. The retail offerings at Maxwell's Music includes a huge selection of guitars, basses, amplifiers, effects pedals, modeling amps, keyboards, drums, banjos, mandolins, ukuleles, sound systems, stage lighting equipment, and accessories. The music education program at Maxwell's is second to none. From private instrument and voice lessons to DJ, EDM, recording, songwriting, and music theory, to rock school, weekend warriors, and Maxwell's Music Lab, there is something for every age and every ability level.
Down in Repairland, guitar and instrument repairs and refurbishment are taken care of by the Maxwell's team of expert guitar technicians and luthiers. They also do appraisals of instruments as well. Maxwell's offers installations for professional audio, visual, and lighting systems for schools, churches, clubs, VFWs, funeral homes, sports fields, and so much more. There's also rentable space at Maxwell's, from the music practice and rehearsal rooms for the individuals and bands, all the way to a meeting space and concert venue that seats up to 120. That also includes a professional audio, visual, and lighting system and a sound booth. Maxwell's has it all. All this plus original functioning 1947 recording booth to make your own record. Go to the Guitar Hero throne, to the very own Elvis statue, and don't forget the Harmony Green Pocket Park. There's a reason the Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana has been recognized by the National Association of Music Merchants as a #1 award-winning best store design, as well as top 100 music store year after year. You gotta see it to believe it. Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana.